Good morning, students. Today we will be discussing the fifth lab program in WTL lab. So the problem statement says like design an XML document. So this is the problem statement: design an XML document to store information about a student in an engineering college affiliated to VTO. So you should design an XML document which contains information about students in an engineering college. So the information must include USN, name, name of the college, branch, year of joining, and email ID. So like this, you have to create the students information for up to sample of 3. Means make up sample data for 3 students, then create a CSS style sheet and use it to display the document. So here you should create an XML document for students which contains the information like is USN, name, name of the college, branch, year of joining, and email ID. Then you have to create for 3 students this information. You have to create the same information for 3 students. Then you must apply a style sheet for this XML document. So before going to the program, actual program, let's go with the theory of what is XML, what is the syntax, then how to write an XML document and all. Then later we'll go with the programming. So I will go with what is XML. So XML is nothing but it stands for an extensible markup language. So it is an extensible markup language, and this XML was designed to store and transport the data. The main purpose of XML is for store and transport, but an HTML is for only for the presentation. But even you can use XML for store as well as for the transport of data. So it was designed to be both human and machine readable. So let's go with one simple example. Like I have an example like example. So this line, the first line we call it as the processing instruction or the PA line, which is going to specify the version of an XML, the version 1.0 encoding, which encoding format you are using. UTF-8. We are using UTF-8 because for other programming, other languages, so we can use the different encoding format. But here we will be using UTF-8. UTF stands for Uniform Transformation Format 8. So so here we have an example. So in example, so I have created one simple XML, the node which contains the other tags like the other user defined tags like to, from, and heading and body. These are become the child node for the node. This node is a root node. So an XML document consists of a root node. The node which comes under this root node, I can call it as the child nodes. Even the child nodes can have a sub-child nodes also, right? So this is one simple example of XML which contains the root node and the child nodes. The to, from, heading, and body tag will become the child node for the node tag. So then what is XML? I told XML is an extensible markup language. It is one of the markup language. Extensible means I can able to add or delete the tags. So it allows the user to define your own tag. So XML is a markup language similar to HTML. Like HTML, it is also a markup language. So it was the main purpose of XML was designed to store and transport the data. Store and transport data. So then XML was designed to be self-descriptive, means it is going to, suppose if I read this document, it is a self-descriptive, means which contains a node from to and from to, from, and what is the heading, the remainder, the body. In the specification we have specified body, don't forget me this weekend. So it is a self-descriptive, and XML is a W3 recommendation, World Wide Web 3 Consortium recommendation. So, and all the XML file ends with an extension filename.html. Sorry, filename.xml. So all the HTML file ends with an extension filename.html. Similarly, XML file ends with an extension filename.xml. Then, what are the differences between HTML and XML? I told XML is also similar to your HTML. Now, what are the main differences? So XML is mainly, the main purpose of XML is for store and transport, means for transferring the data. So XML and HTML were designed with the different goals. So the main focus, XML was designed to carry the data, means which focus on what data is. But HTML was designed to display the data, means HTML is only for the presentation of data, how your data will be looks. But HTML, even you can use XML for store as well as transport. So XML tags are not predefined like HTML tags. In HTML, suppose if I wanted to include paragraph, then I must use the paragraph tag. If I wanted to include the heading, then I can use heading tag H1. So, but in XML, you don't have the predefined tag. XML allows the user to create your own tag. You can create your user defined tags. So these are the some of the differences between XML and HTML. XML is for only for store and transport, but HTML is for data presentation. Then let's go with the XML tree structure. So suppose I told each XML document consists of an root node. So let's go with this example. I have an example like I have a bookstore. This is the XML node. So here bookstore will act as the root element. This bookstore contains the elements, the book, with the attribute like the category. So in XML, while specifying the attribute value, the attributes value must be quoted. Always you must quote the attribute value. Here also we are specifying the attribute value as language. So here element will become the child node, and for this element, bookstore will become the parent node. So the children's of the same level. So like element, we have the title and author. These are belongs to siblings, children's of the same parents. So like books. So this is XML tree structure. Then what is the syntax? How you can write an XML document? I told an XML document must contain one root element. This one we call it as the parent of all other elements. With respect to this example, here the bookstore is the parent element, or I can call it as the root element. Then the books, the title, book, title, author, year, and price. These will become the child nodes. So all XML elements must have a closing tag. When you are creating a tag, you must properly close it. All XML element must have a closing tag. And one more important point is XML tags are case sensitive. So here I have a root node, then the child node. Inside the child node, I have other sub-child nodes. So first you must close it. For every all XML elements must have a closing tag, right? Suppose I have opened the child node, then I should close the within this child node, I have the sub-child node. First, I should close the sub-child node, then followed by the child node. Finally, you can close the root node. So XML tags are case sensitive. XML elements must be properly nested. Means here within the root node we have the child node. Within the child node we have sub-child node. So first you must close the child node, then followed by the child node, then followed by the root. So you must be properly nested. All the XML elements must be properly nested. Suppose attributes. So when you have the attributes in an XML elements, that must be quoted. Always you must quote the attribute value. Example here, the book. For the book, we have the attribute category. So you can specify this attribute value as within quoted. So hence it should be quoted. So suppose even in XML, while writing an XML, we will be using this opening angular braces. Suppose if you wanted to include a less than symbol or a greater than symbol in an XML, you'll be getting an parser error. So because the parser will treat it as it is an opening tag. Suppose if I include the less than, then the parser will treat it as an opening tag. Suppose if I include the greater than symbol, then it will treat it as the closing tag. So hence, in order to include this symbol like greater than and less than, we will be using a separate entity. We call it as the entity reference. Suppose if you wanted to use less than, then you should use ampersand LT. So entity reference, also we call it as internal entity. Suppose if you wanted to use the less than symbol in an XML document, you can use ampersand LT, stand for less than. If you wanted to include a greater than symbol in an XML, you can use ampersand GT, stand for greater than. This one we call it as entity references. These are the syntax you should follow while creating your XML file. Then, so what is an XML element here? Root, child, subchild will become the XML element. So how to write an XML element? An XML element is everything from the element starts to the ending tag. So here the start tag, the route from start tag to the ending tag, we can call all this as the elements. So an element can contain a text, an attribute, or it may contain other elements or a mixture of above. Suppose here, so here the element root node will be the element. So within this root we have the child node. Within this child element we have subchild. Right. So this is the XML element. So an XML element is everything from the start of the tag to the end of the tag. An element may contain text, attribute, or other elements also. Yes, right. So this is the basics of an XML. Right. Now you people have understood what is meant by XML. Right. XML allows the user to create your own tag. It allows the user to create your user-defined tag. Now let's go with the program. Yeah, here is the program. Yeah, here is the program. This is the program. Yeah. So the problem statement, in the problem statement they have specified you should design an XML document to store information about a student in an engineering college affiliated to VTO. You create an XML document which contains this information: USN, name and name of the college, branch, year of joining and email ID. Then you have to make up this information for 3 students. Then once you create this XML, you have to apply the CSS for this XML to display the document. So hence, I told while writing an XML, first you should write the PLN. PLN, the processing instruction, like I have written line XML version is equal to 1.0, then encoding is equal to UTF, right? That is an optional. It is not mandatory. So I have to apply the CSS. So later I will go with this this part. Now just for the time being, I'll put a comment on this one. So this is how to comment and file in an XML. So I have commented this one. Then so I told XML it follows the syntax of your HTML. So here doc type I will specify it as HTML. So HTML. Then inside the HTML, we have the head tag. How to specify the heading with the student description. So hence we have specified in H1. You close the head tag. Then the more important here is you have to create the student information for 3. So I will be using this students will act as the root node. Students. Within the students, I will be creating a student for first student. So I have to make up the data for 3 students, right? This is for the first one, and this is for the second one, and this is for the third one. So the first student, if I wanted to specify for the first student, so this is the user defined tag. This is a user defined tag. So here within this student, we have USN. So in the USN, we have specifying USN colon 1CG17CS001. This is the USN for the students. So I told like XML should be properly nested. So hence, first you close the USN tag. So I have opened the USN tag, then I have closed the USN tag. Then the information contains USN name. Then you can specify the name colon Santosh. Then college colon CAT. Then you can close this college tag. Then the branch, which branch you can specify the computer science or information science. Then you can close the branch tag. So it is case sensitive. Remember, suppose if you type B is in lowercase, suppose if you mistakenly if you type it in B in capital, then it will be wrong. So it is case sensitive. Hence it is branch itself. Yeah. And year of joining, so like year 2017. Then email, the email ID for this student Santosh, it is santosh@gmail.com. Then you close this student. This is for one student. So this is for one student. Then you have to create this information, the same information for 3 more students. So again, you can reuse this code, reuse the same code, but just you change the USN of the student, then the name, then the college, branch, year and email. we did like here we have changed the USN from 1 to 2. Then the name of the student will be Manoranjan. The college CIT branch will be Information Science. Year will be 2017. Then his email ID. So we have created for up to 3 students. So Santosh, Manoranjan is the second, and Chetan is the third. Then once you close this one, I have to close the root element. Which is the root element here? The root element here is student. So hence you close the root element student, then you close the HTML. So hence just you save the file name. This file name is file name.xml. File name.xml. Right. So this part is over with respect to the first problem statement. We have designed the XML document which contains the student information like USN, name of the college, branch, year of joining, and email ID. Then we have make up this data for 3 students. Then the next part is you have to create a CSS style sheet and use it to display the document. CSS is nothing but cascading style sheet, how your web page will look and feel. So that is the style sheet information. So for that one, we have to write the style sheet. So instead of writing the style sheet within this HTML, we'll be writing a CSS file in a separate file, and we are giving the reference in our HTML, in our XML file. So that is why I have commented this one. Now I will remove this one. So yeah, this is XML style sheet. Type is equal to text/CSS. We are applying the CSS. We are applying the style sheet for this XML document. So the type is text/CSS. Here the type is CSS. href stands for the hyperreference. Hyperreference, it is going to specify the path of this file. I have given the file name as file.css. Provided this XML file and the CSS file both should be in the same folder. Both should be in the same folder. Now I have to apply the CSS. How can I apply the CSS? I'll be applying the CSS for first tag. I will be applying the CSS for student. For the student, I'll be applying, the general syntax. So while writing the CSS for, so I will show you here. I will create one more here only. So the general syntax of writing any CSS is, first you write the tag name, then followed by property colon value. Put a semicolon. Tag name, property colon value. This is the general syntax of writing CSS. So once this is the general syntax. Here the tag name can be a paragraph, whatever the things you can specify, like for the student information or USN, the tag name, what is the property and what is the value. So, and save this file with file name.css. So here we'll be applying the CSS for student, for the student tag. So hence, just I'm replacing the tag name with the student. So I'm applying the CSS for student tag, student, the tag name. Then I open the curly braces. The property will be display. For this property, what is the value? Block. I want to display this student in a block. So I wanted to specify where I wanted to display this student information. From the margin top, 10 pixel, the color will be navy. Color will be navy. So like this is for student. Similarly, I can apply the CSS for USN. Just you write the tag name, USN, then display block. Display block. If you wanted to specify multiple property value, then you separate each with the semicolon symbol. So display colon value. Here I have specified only the first property. If you wanted to specify multiple, then semicolon, then again you can specify the property colon value. Yeah. Like this you can specify. Now here I specified the display property for this USN tag, and also the margin left will be 10 pixel. Then font size will be 14 points. I can specify the font size for this USN tag will be 14 points and the color will be red. Similarly, you can apply the CSS for the name tag. So for this one, USN name, college, branch, year, email. So here apply the CSS for USN name, college. It will be also, I will be displaying a block. The margin left will be 20 pixel and font size will be 12 points and the color will be maroon. So for the branch, you can specify the font color as purple. Then for year, the color will be green, and for the email, it is color is blue. So once you specified all these things, save the file name with file name dot css. So provided both the XML file and the CSS file will be in the same folder, because while specifying the reference href, it is going to specify the path of the CSS. If both the file in the same folder, then you can directly give the file name. Suppose if the CSS file in a different folder, then you have to give the path of that file, in which folder it is there, right? So once done, so you can run the program. So we are here, we are using the exam server. So I'll be open the browser. So I have already started the exam. So Apache server has already started here. So I will go to the browser. So in the browser, I'll be typing whether the Apache server is running or not by just by typing localhost. Localhost, I'll be getting the test page, means the server is running Apache web page. Now I've given the file name as pg5.xml. So hence I will be typing localhost. Just you type http colon double forward slash or localhost slash, what is the file name? I have dumped all the files in htdoc. So you people are aware like where to dump the files and all, right? Go to the C drive. Go to your PC. Yeah, I will minimize this one. Yeah, in the C drive, we have installed the exam. So C drive exam in htdoc folder, I have dumped this file like pg file. This is XML file and this is CSS file. So now I will be running the program. So localhost slash pg5.xml. So I'll be getting the output like this. So this is the output for your fifth program. So the student information. So I have applied the CSS for USN, name, college, branch, year, and email. So hence I'll be getting in different colors. Thank you.